Hi everybody, welcome to my classroom. I consider this my very interactive learning environment. I get to enjoy all the comforts around me and do anything, keep all my materials together. My setup is pretty fun. I don't have to worry about going outside to go meet with people. I can do it all online here. I had a homework assignment due in a little bit, and I made myself some breakfast here, and I'm pretty much just going to start working on this homework assignment right about now. In order to do so, I'm literally just going to grab my computer here, as you can see, and I'm pretty much just going to sit here, watch some videos, eat some cereal. And that's how my classroom is. First, I'd like to say that technology is an ever-changing and evolving aspect of life, same as any type of learning in the classroom that goes on. All the technology that we've used up until now is pretty much completely outdated and just will not be happening in the future classrooms. As far as chalkboards, pen, paper, whiteboards, smartboards, overhead projectors, all those things were just the tiniest bit of interactive involvement, and they really didn't contribute a whole lot to the classroom. The printed model. Right there, that 3D printed model would literally give you something to work with. I mean, it was a hologram. I mean, it looked like trash when it came out. And, I mean, you wouldn't really use it, but when she plugged it into her head, you know, it became like a hologram. You could make stuff out of it and carry it wherever you go. I mean, this is what classrooms used to look like and are currently looking like, except a lot more people have their heads down on their desk, obviously. But, I mean, it just seems so bare. Everybody's using the same laptop, Dell probably, and they're just taking the exact same lecture notes and things like that.
Those standard traditional classroom settings, such it's not going to be happening anymore. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to continue on a path that just doesn't seem to work out in everyone's comfort levels. One thing that's definitely going to be more futuristic is the removal of chairs, the removal of the desks.
I mean, no matter what age group you go to, here you have a bunch of kids with with the latest tablets editions, and these are all things that are really cool and unique. I mean, to see and to interact with, but I think in the year 2015, everything that you just saw up till now is pretty much going to be outdated. It's just not going to be working. It's just not going to be widely used anymore. And the timeline I'm talking about is, you know, a minimum of 10 years and as fast as 20 years. So within 10 years, 15, 20 years, all these things are going to be changed and outdated. You're just not going to see them in classrooms. So in terms of what you're going to be doing in the classroom, whether you have a master's or a PhD or a 6th grade education, I mean, it's finding something to interact with, finding something to engage on, and that you can control the settings of. You're not going to be just using, you know, math such as 6 + 6 = 12. You're not going to be sitting in a chemistry class all day, every day. You know, you're going to be actually working around your environment. You're going to be using tools and innovative technology and things like that. Some of which, I mean, I'll show you, but, I mean, currently, the technology that's going on is reducing all kinds of transportations. Before you used to walk to get to a place, before somebody would come to you, then you'd take certain public transportation, such as school buses or metro buses if the schools offered them, and then you got your own car and you started driving. And now, I mean, now people just aren't even going to school. They're not going to a physical classroom anymore. They're sitting at home online. They're sitting homeschooled. They're doing all their homework from school. Classes are offered online. I mean, it's just going to reduce all those jobs and everything. In terms of, this is one of your setups. I mean, the setup that I showed earlier, you're just doing things where you want to do things. You're not even, I mean, you can just look at the stuff. You can look at your setup. You can design yours differently. But people just are getting rid of this model of this person in the front and people in the back just looking. It's just not going to be happening anymore. I mean, one of the earlier things was the virtual reality from Back to the Future. And having that Back to the Future, it just, it really put a spin on certain things. You could start to see the different things within your own landscape. And there's just such a high push for this technology that's coming of age, which is holograms and machines and downloadings. Here in Iron Man, and he gets to use all kinds of holograms to create his own technology and innovative weapons. I mean, in here, he literally just grabs technology by its hands and just uses it to move and modify and reshape his environment. He gets to use a robot next to him or a companion that allows the tools near him to fully integrate whatever he wants to do. As you can see, I mean, he just gets to have tons and tons of fun. That's his classroom. That's his environment that he's working with. I mean, it's either going to be for a company or it's going to be for yourself, but I mean, you're not necessarily going to be at a traditional setting in 30 years. I just don't see it happening. I see more of you're going to be involved with other people.
At some sort of laboratory, if anything.
We'll be in and out. Anyway, you've never seen my lab.
Oh, great. I get to see your nerd lab.
I mean, here you see everybody using technology. Everybody learning new things in the classroom, and there's no lecture. There's no teacher.
That's your Max suspension?
Welcome to the nerd lab. I mean, all the cool new things that you can do, the tricks, the education, the comfort of designing your own products. It's just going to have a huge impact. I mean, whether you are a scientist or you're just sitting and relaxing, that's going to be your learning environment to observe other people doing work, and then you're going to find your own creative aspect behind that.
Applications of this tech are
You're not going to have
construction.
those things.
What used to take teams of people working by hand for months or years can now be accomplished by one person. And that's just the beginning. How about transportation? Microbots can move anything, anywhere, with ease. If you can think it, Microbots can do it. The only limit is your imagination. Microbots.
I think there's definitely going to be a push towards this idea of downloading and having machines take up your lifestyle. Like, you're going to have an alternative body, such as in the movie Surrogates, where they created the movie Surrogates. You have like this hook down, this place where you're machined and connected into at the click of a button, and you're going to control a machine to go out and do things for you. Either go get milk across the street, or, I mean, currently we drive across the street just to get milk. We get in our cars, it's comfortable. Before we used to walk, we just get in our cars, we drive now. You know, in X-Men, Wolverine said we're out of milk, prep the Blackbird, so you're getting into a gigantic plane just to go get some milk. I think it's ridiculous how much bigger and better exposure. I mean, even if you look at Star Wars, for example, in Star Wars, and when it first came out, the original 4 through 6, the holograms were really terrible to look at. I mean, and now it's all cleaned up. 15 years ago, it was all cleaned up. You could actually have a cool layout, and that cool layout would eventually become your classroom. I mean, look at that. That's just, you could have everybody lined up in a click of a hologram format and interact that way. You're not going to be just sitting. This is the virtual reality, and you're going to either have virtual reality and holograms where people can put together things, or, I mean, the other thing is, to some extent, you're going to have something in front of you, whether it be like your geography class set up, which is right here, or you're going to have a biology or chemistry or doctor classroom right here. I mean, you're just going to be involved with your friends using holograms, using 3D models, 3D printing, 3D collaborations. I mean, you're not going to be just sitting there looking at a screen. What you are, one thing that definitely is outdated, along with all the other things that we are experiencing now, which is computers soon to be outdated. 4 years ago, they would have said, like in the Jetsons movie, that there's a robot droid teaching the classroom in front. And that was a great idea back then. And now, I mean, now it's just not going to happen. I mean, nobody wants to have a robot teaching in the classroom. Nobody wants to have an android or a machine sitting in front. People are just not going to do that anymore. It just doesn't seem like an actual good idea anymore. What does seem like a good idea would be, having Steve Jobs teach the classroom, a dead man using holograms. Again, with the virtual reality, you're going to be interacting with what you experience. It's going to be a big exposure. The biggest push is going to be having kids learn how to use YouTube in the classroom, how to create green screens, how to do, microbots, things like that. Like, that's going to be the biggest thing. The other biggest thing would obviously be just being able to download things right away, such as here.
Not yet.
Operator.
Tank, I need a pilot program for a B-212 helicopter. Hurry. Let's go.
I mean, that's what I think. I think that you're just going to be able to click a button and download or call somebody and have them put their chip, a microchip that will just give you instant technology, instant access to progression. If you didn't know how to do something before, you could download it all within an instant and be able to just incorporate that. If you didn't know how to fly a helicopter, now you can fly a helicopter. It's going to open so many new doors that your classroom's not going to want to be just enclosed space. Maybe for the younger kids under age 10, you're going to be involved in reading and learning and writing, but afterwards in middle school, you're going to be involved in YouTube making. In high school, you're going to be involved in making microbots. In college, you're going to be creating your own business. I mean, your own technology. You're going to be incorporating your physical body and entity into that new push. And that's going to be your learning experience. That's going to be your classroom. Thank you for watching my video. I'm going to call my friend Jaeuk and talk to him and see what he thinks. Hi, Jaeuk. I'm recording. I'm finishing off a video here.
Just like right now? Should I just talk about it?
Yeah, right now. Go ahead, man.
Okay, wait, just a second. So, are you just like doing a new recording?
Yep, right now. This is part of the video. It's very interactive.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, can I just get my script ready? Just a second.
I mean, you don't really need a script. I think having a script kind of defeats the whole purpose. I think if you just say something about what you think the pill is going to talk about, or what you think of machines, or, like a language, or opening up doors of some sort.
Okay, just general about technology and stuff?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, alright, so pills. Okay, so today we're just using it for, like medicine, but I believe that, it's gonna be, in the future, that you could take a single pill, and it's gonna allow you to learn faster, and it's just gonna be, like, in your bloodstream, going to your brain, and then you're just gonna, like, boom, know the subject and know the language. And as for technology, such as, like, drones and machines, well, because I think the future learning environments are going to be more hands-on. I think there's going to be more use of machines in class. But this class is not just going to be like a traditional one, but rather it's just going to be what we already talked about. Like it's going to be outdoors, indoors, anywhere you can think of where you're most comfortable in.